All right, I think we're on. And let me see if I can see everybody. Oh, hi, everybody. Hello,
Hey.
Lillian and Jerry. And who else is on? Anita. Hey, Anita. And hi, Tammy. Hello, Twyla. I'm so glad you're on. That's awesome. Welcome, welcome, ladies. Let's see, is there anybody I've missed? Oh, hi, Mom again. And yep, I think I said hi to everybody. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to day 3.
Just got in from church.
Oh, Tammy just got in from church?
Yeah, Bible study.
That's
yeah.
great. How was church tonight?
It was good. We're in Colossians.
Awesome. You're in Colossians?
Mm-hmm.
What was your sermon about? I mean, I know it was Colossians, but what was the main topic?
The lesson, I don't know, I forgot.
Hi, Twyla. I just saw your camera turn on. How are you?
I'm okay.
That's
Thanks, Rob.
awesome.
Oh, cool.
I'm sorry?
Look at your mom. I love it.
I know. Look at her. Isn't she cute? You know, I just realized I left my journal over here. Let me grab that real quick. That's my thing I wanted to read to you guys on it. Okay. You have like 50 journals lying around, and then this is the one I actually need, and it's not in front of me. So did you guys see Mom's little, I don't know what you call that, a filter, maybe?
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
It's
Yeah.
cute. Hey, Anita.
Well, I'm so glad you guys are all on
Hi.
here. I'm so glad that each of you made it. In fact, I think maybe this is the biggest group we've had. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's hard to count actually, to go
My
back and forth
friend's
like that.
on.
There's
5,
3,
6. Did I miscount? I have to swipe to figure it out.
7
1,
counting
2,
you.
3, 4.
I don't know.
5,
I'm on
6,
my
7,
phone.
8, something like that. So that's quite a few.
Was
Thank
Pam
you,
gonna
ladies,
be
for all
on
being
today?
on. I should ask you first off, what did you oh, maybe I should save that question because that's a good question. First off, let me go ahead and read us some scripture because I like to get us started on the right foot, and that's important. And I am just going to actually read the scripture I put in my journal today because it was really encouraging to me and I needed to hear it. And so I just want to read it to you guys too, and hopefully it's encouraging as well. So, and Mom, actually, I'm hearing an echo on your end. So if you could turn your volume down, I'm sorry. Let's make sure that one is good. Thank you. Okay, so Colossians 3:23 says, whatsoever ye do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not unto men. And that's Colossians 3:23. And I love that verse because it's basically similar to what we were saying yesterday. Everything you put your hands to, everything you put your heart and soul into, should be done not like you're doing it for yourself and not even like you're doing it for other people, but more like you're doing it for the Lord. And if you had the Lord standing right in front of you, what would you do? And really, that's good advice, even if you don't believe in God. Like, think of this as something better than yourself. You know, think of the tasks that you do as having better and greater purpose than just getting a job done today. So I love that verse. It makes you work. I'm sorry?
That was it tonight.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious. 3:23, yes.
Are you serious? That is
we're
so
fixing to go into Colossians 4 next Wednesday.
That's crazy.
We talked about being a servant too.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I love that. So that was a God thing.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Wow. I almost got chills on my arm. That's amazing.
Yeah, we started saying about that verse. It clicked in my head from tonight.
You know, it's funny. I never even realized that you just said Colossians and I just read Colossians until you said that. So that's amazing. Wow, how weird. I love it. You know, God does stuff like that too. And you know, I always look for multiple reminders. Like if God is saying something more than once, maybe I need to listen to it.
Yes.
Obviously I'm not listening and I need to like stop and go, wait a second. I heard that twice today. Okay. Let me obey and do what he wants me to do before he hits me over the head with a frying pan. So wow. Well, Tammy, that is too cool. Thank you for sharing about what study you were in tonight. That is so wild. I wanted to share with you guys a verse, but I always like to start with the word of God. And if it's encouraging for you, I hope that it's a blessing to you. So today we got into what kind of art journaler you guys are. Can I see by a show of hands, like who actually looked at today's materials? Okay.
I looked at the materials. I just didn't get the. I looked at the materials. I just didn't get the video watch.
Oh, good. Okay. And then Tammy did.
Since Aunt
Twilight, were
Faye's
you
been
able to?
in.
Joy Finder. Haha.
Good. Oh, we have someone who knows what they are. So let me go ahead and I want to give you guys the floor. Anita, I'm trying to find your face. You're there you are. Hi. I was looking to see if your
She's
camera
outside.
was on. I'm on my other device.
I have to be outside. I don't work anywhere else.
So I just was making sure I could see you. I want to go ahead and give you guys a chance to share, because this is the one I was excited about, because I don't know this. Like, I don't know what you guys are, and I can learn a little bit about each of you based on what art journaler you are, and more importantly, you can learn kind of about yourself based on that, and maybe you guys will give each other some insights as we go. So let me go ahead. Maybe I'll do it this way. Let me go ahead and ask. Let's see. How do I want to put this? We'll go by which type. First of all, raise your hand if you know what type you are based on the little video today.
I think I'm a Joy Finder.
Okay. Okay. Does anybody else know kind of what they are? Because we're going to go over it too.
I'm a joy seeker, but
well, that's good because
all the stuff.
Twyla, can you say that just a little louder?
Is my video on working?
Your video's on.
Or my sound? Because so I'm more of a joy seeker, but I also have years and years of craft stuff that I can use and draw on. So I'm one of the ones that jumps around doing different stuff and trying to find what I like.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I think creative people are like that. So that's really, that's normal.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So so a few of you know what you are, and those of you that did anybody not know what they were, like couldn't figure out where they fell? Anita. Okay, that's totally fine. So maybe as we go, you can kind of think about it. We'll kind of like process through, and you can kind of see based on what some other people say where you sort of fall and see. So
I fall in between Joy Finder and the last one.
Joy Maker.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
I kind of fall in the guidelines of both of them. I called Dara earlier and I said, I need help. Which one am I? And she goes, well, I don't know. Did you read it? I said, yeah, I read it, or I wouldn't have cracked it.
It's an interesting thing because it's a certain framework, but nobody's like a cookie cutter. So I know that some of us are going to overlap a little, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Tammy, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was noticing the overlapping. I could be a joy seeker along with the joy finder. Yeah.
And that may also have something to do with the little characteristics in it, the different ones in there. So we're going to go over the characteristics just as a kind of a review and have fun learning about each other. So on your day 3 worksheet, it breaks down each of those. And I'll just give you a heads up. As you art journal more often, your category may change. So you're not like this static person that's like stuck, you know. You may change based on the experiences you have art journaling. It may be your interests change a little bit, the way you interact with the ladies or the way you share other things, just the walk with God, or whether you're studying something more, whatever it is can change. So it's not like now you are stamped, that is what you are. It's just more of like a, where are you right now? And how do you feel right now? Okay, so Joy Seeker, I'm just going to read through it. I know you guys have read through it, but I'm just going to read just the basics real quick so that you can kind of think about it again. So who said that they were a Joy Seeker? I think Tammy said so. And Twyla. And
where's Twyla from?
Where is Twyla from?
Where she live?
Oregon.
Cottage Grove. I didn't realize that. That's awesome.
She's in Oregon?
In Oregon. Yeah, that's great. And
Yeah,
let's
Oh,
see.
she's a neighbor.
I was childhood
Close.
friends with Leslie Dixon, actually.
Oh, I love her. She's so great.
That's how I found you.
Oh, I did.
Oh.
Somehow I didn't know that. Okay. Well, that's so great. Welcome again. She
Hi,
hasn't been
Twyla.
able to be on, but I know she was really hoping to be able to catch some of the stuff. So I saw Twyla and Tammy raise their hand, but I wasn't on the other page. Did any of you other ladies raise your hand for Joy Seeker? Okay, so we got 2 so far who think they're a Joy Seeker. So if you're a Joy Seeker, here's what you look like. You've dabbled with crafts and arts before, but your art experience is limited. You would say that you probably don't create art on a regular basis. You've always wanted to keep a daily journal, whether it's art or otherwise. You like to doodle when you're on the phone, when you're in church, when you're in a class, because it helps you think. Does anybody who doesn't think they're a Joy Seeker do that anyway?
I think I'm a little bit of everything.
Yeah. That's
No.
one of those that can be anybody can have that characteristic, but definitely Joy Seekers do that. Like that's really, really common. Okay. And you also love encouraging community and being inspired by creative people. So does that sound like you, Twyla and Tammy?
What was that now again?
Definitely.
That was the Joy Seeker.
Of encouraging people?
You love to have an encouraging community and to be inspired by other creative people.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So
Most definitely.
yeah, so Tammy, what parts of that kind of stick out to you as like this? That's why I think I'm a Joy Seeker.
I like to see creative things. You know, when I'm on Facebook, I go straight on to those sites, some paintings and stuff. I seek for it. You know, it's like I seek at different things, you know, easy levels. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. How about Twyla? What was it? Oh, I'm sorry, Tammy.
Craft projects, you know.
Yes, like Pinterest.
There
I know
you go.
Pinterest is starting to like fade into the background, but it's still like the crafter's paradise. They love to get Pinterest ideas.
Right.
How about Twyla? What was it about the Joy Seeker that you thought, yes, that's me?
Probably all of it. I don't
Really?
do that much when I'm on the phone because it's the cell phone and it's already too much as it is. But I've done Chinese brush painting and I've done a little bit of oil painting and I've done a quilting and
Wow.
needlepoint, and the cupboards are full of things that I've dabbled with, but I'm not an expert on any of them, and so that's probably the most. And I have a ton of journals that I don't keep. So yeah.
And I think a lot of us can relate to that, especially if you're creative at all. So I think a lot of us have a little bit of the Joy Seeker in us, just because it's like, yeah, I like to try things.
Yeah.
Twyla, are you the type of person? I'm this way, and you can tell me if you're this way too, where you really like to learn a new craft. So you may not stick with it for very
Yeah.
long, but you got to learn how to do it at least once. Like, ooh, that looks fun. I'll try it.
Yeah.
But what I found is that if I get too far into it, it either costs me too much money or I get to the point
That's with
where
any craft.
the experts are they kind of push you out when you're working with experts because they want, well, that's not good enough. Well, it's good enough for me. So
I
I don't want to sell my work. I just want to enjoy it.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, and I think joy seeker, you just said the word enjoy, and
Yeah.
joy is what you're going for.
Yeah.
And I would say, I don't know, the ladies that are in the Artworthy Journal Club and who follow Artworthy Life regularly, how many times have you guys heard me say, it's not fine art, it's
Fun art.
oh, Twyla's heard it.
Yeah.
It's fun art. I don't
Right.
know. I am way
That
more
I started to say that, and I thought, wait a minute.
I know.
My brain's very tired today. I am
That's
so
okay.
tired.
I love it that the person who's not in the club knew exactly what I was going to say. That's
Right.
awesome.
You do say it a lot on Artworthy Life, though. You really
I
do.
do. I say it a lot because number one, I'm not a fine artist. I mean, I can do stuff. If I sit down and do it, I can make stuff that's really pretty, but I'd rather have a blast than be stressed. So it's about fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, Twyla, I think that's really great that you found some things that plugged into what you kind of felt like clicked with you. So that was Joy Seeker. We have a couple Joy Seekers. That's fun. How about Joy Finder? Did anybody think, yeah, I am a Joy Finder?
That's the first thing.
So Jerry and Lillian?
Again, a little bit of everything. So yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Okay. And I don't know if Anita was kind of like, maybe. Were you kind of like, maybe?
Well, I heard something behind, well, I thought was behind me, but it was Charlie on the inside
Oh,
walking around. It scared me. I was startled because I was like, it's
yeah.
completely black back here, and I'm hearing things that's actually coming from out in the house. So what'd you say? Because I took the earbud out trying to figure out what was going on.
That's okay. I
My
was
heart's
just
going dud, 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 dud. I gotta do
Something's
something
going-
different, guys.
Yeah, you're gonna eventually have to get in your car where you feel safe and there's nothing like coming in after you.
In the car, find a way to get it in the house. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
All I was asking
What was said?
we have a couple people who think they're joy finders. I was asking if you thought you were maybe a joy finder or if you didn't raise your hand.
Well, that's what I was saying. I feel like I'm kind of in between the joy finder and the joy seeker. There's not seeker, but the other one.
Oh, okay.
Which one?
Okay.
The
So seeker
was
was
the first one,
Seeker's the first
right?
one. Mm-hmm.
Finder.
Okay.
And then joy what? I can't think.
Maker, joy maker.
Maker, yeah. And because I called Jared because I was thinking, well, she knows I do all kinds of crafts. I mean, I've done a lot of crafting.
Mm-hmm. Well, and here's what I'll.
Latch hook. Do you know what latch hook is?
Yes.
I've done that. I crocheted. I have embroidered. I have scrapbooked. I have, and watercolor and painting. I've not done a lot of,
Mm-hmm.
and I've only done one acrylic painting, and that was that cactus. Just this last little while. So I've like I can't think of how to pronounce her name. The one that was just talking. She at least wants to try a craft at least once, and you may like it and do a lot of it, but then it may just be something you do once. Yeah. So.
Right. Well, that's totally fine. Actually, these categories are to help you sort of like think about what you might be like, but they're not like you must absolutely find out what you are, because this isn't like it's not like a medical test where you're either type A or you're type B blood, you know.
I do know
you
one
can't
thing
test
I
your,
definitely am not.
craft type. Oh, okay. So what do you think?
There's one thing I'm definitely not, and that's the journaler part. You know, the words. I probably will never get there, but
that's okay.
I don't know. Well, the thing about it is, my mother always taught us, if you don't want it known, don't write it down, or different things like that. But what was really strange about that was, I'll probably get a little deep, but Mom always said she wanted to be a writer, but she never was.
Cool.
And it wasn't, it wasn't the fact she didn't have the time to do it, because she was a stay-at-home mom. But she never did. But yet she always told us, if you don't want it known, don't write it down. So it's kind of confusing. I mean, as I think about it in my older years, it's confusing. When I was younger, I mean, she'd say it and it's like, oh, you just throw it over your shoulder, because
I think it's really
in your
cool
age,
that
it's like,
I think it's really cool that she even mentioned journaling, and that you had kind of like an influence in that way, because some people don't even think about it growing up. So but keep that thought in mind as we go through like these types, because you might find some things that match up and you might not. So I'm going to go over what the Joy Finder says, and you can kind of listen to it. But mostly, even for all you other ladies, it's not supposed to be like a stress thing either. It's just kind of a thing like, hey, think about what you could kind of put your like little hat on. Am I this one? Am I this one? Am I this one? And just, it's for fun based on that. That helps us figure out what's our art journaling going to look like. So it's more fun and not stress. If it's stressful, throw it out the window. That's not the place for this. So,
well, the thing that makes the thing that makes this journaling easier for me is because it's your the path, because it's prayer, and we write our prayer down. So that's not hard for me. And then the art, which I thought would be harder than it is, but it's not easy either. And then now the to-do list,
I can't do that one.
I don't do, because I've never done it. And then the scripture, that's not hard to do. But I was with both of my aunts today. She's going to be in till Sunday. And I had brought up the journal club, and Aunt Grace said, well, you never talked to me about it. And so I started telling them, and I told her about how it was set up and how the path, and explained all that. And she said, well, you know what? She said, you may just need to use that to-do list, because she gave me the what fors in a nice way. And was telling me, you need to make a to-do list a day. And then what you need to do is, when you go to bed, you get your prayers said, she said, and get your talking to God done. She goes, then you sit there and make a mental list. I need to do this, 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 and this tomorrow. I said, Aunt Grace, if I go to bed and I wake up in a new world every day, I don't remember what I went to bed thinking about in the morning. She goes, well, okay, if you just have to, write it down. And then when I brought it up, she goes, well, maybe you need to put your to-do list on that page.
Yes.
And I said, well, then I would have to write that to-do list the day before.
Yes.
She goes, well, whatever works.
Oh my goodness.
I said, okay, Aunt Grace. Okay.
That's why we appreciate having you in the group, because you are not someone who initially was like, I think I can do this every day, and you're learning slowly that you can incorporate some of these things. So I'm going to come back to, let's see, we said Lillian and Jerry thought they were joy finders, maybe partially, sort of. So let me read what the joy finder is, and we'll kind of go over that, and you guys can go, oh, okay, maybe this is me, maybe this isn't. So here's a joy finder, ladies. You can kind of listen in. You, as a joy finder, are doing something creative every month. So think about that. Do I do something creative every month? You want to improve your prayer and Bible reading as you seek to grow your relationship with God. Obviously, this is if you are a Christian. If you're not, that's okay. You can fill something else in that blank. You enjoy creating with friends in a group setting. especially crafting events, art classes, or paint parties.
Mhm.
So let's ask maybe Jerry, do you feel like that's kind of where you're at?
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
Was that a yes?
oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, okay. What is it that sticks out most to you about that list?
Probably do something crafty and creative every month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you do
More than
like
likely, more often than once a month, though. If I know her, it's more than once a month.
yeah.
It's a couple of times a month. Well, I know it's,
Okay.
life's getting a little busier right now, but
Uh-huh.
that would be.
And
And
how-
holidays. Mhm.
And how about was it Tammy? Were you saying
Oh,
Yeah,
you were kind of
it's
nodding
most
too?
definitely. Yes, it's
Uh-huh.
most definitely. I love watching, going into art groups and the senior center. We have sometimes a art class, and we all in a group.
Yeah.
And on Facebook, when I first started meeting you in November last year, I got so interested, and you just kept my interest up making
And
those
then
cards.
I don't know. Let's see, Mom. It looked like you were nodding too. Is there something there that stuck out to you?
Hold on.
Her hat.
You're
Well,
like,
I'm nodding because I'm like, yeah, my little, okay, that's me. No, that one's me. Well, they're all me.
yes, and that's okay if you fall into several. Lillian, you were also like, yes, that's me. What is it about the Joy Finder that you think sticks out to you?
Well, I want to grow in my relationship with God and my prayer life, and I also, I think I'm probably creative more than once a month. I really like
I would agree.
painting, and I've been drawing, all my life. So, but yeah, I haven't got a chance to do a lot of group art or art lessons. But yeah.
Join the club.
Well, this is one, so that means
Yeah.
you at least like it.
Yeah.
So it really counts. Yeah, I really think the wanting to grow your relationship with God is the one that hits home with me, especially. And then of course I do something creative every month. That's a good one. Okay, well, we have a couple Joy Finders. Here's another one we're gonna get to, and some people aren't this, some people have a little bit of this, but I'm gonna read the Joy Maker. And if we have some joy makers in here, we usually know who they are. Okay, usually we know who the joy makers are. So let me read joy maker. Just show of hands. Did anybody think they had even an ounce of joy maker in them? Oh, Lillian and Anita, and let's see,
don't
anybody
know.
else? Tammy's not
I
sure.
think
Okay.
Jared does too.
I'm not sure.
Mom, kind of, maybe. Okay, so let's read what it is, and then we'll see. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. Maybe you have a little in you. Maybe you're on your way there. Okay, so joy maker, just to recap. As a joy maker, those of you who think you might have some, you may already keep a daily journal. Not a requirement, but you may already keep a daily journal, or you create some kind of art every week. And I would say, or you create some kind of other thing every week, something creative, but you're doing it more than once a month.
week.
It's like every week. Who
Yes.
said that?
I create a mess every week.
Twyla. Okay, you're
I
creating
do that
something
too.
creative.
Oh,
Can it be
Hey,
so?
if you count my page from yesterday, that counts 100%.
Yes,
My journal
absolutely.
page for yesterday, I don't know how. Oh my goodness.
And Tammy, did you say sewing?
Yes. Is that part of it?
Oh, absolutely. If
Definitely.
you're creative every week, that
Yeah.
definitely counts. Yeah, I
Okay.
would say, because creative can actually even mean creative writing. It could be
Yeah.
creative thinking, like you come up with ideas. If you're a creative person, it doesn't have to be art on a page. So that's really cool.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you're doing something
But
like that
in a
every
way,
week. And sorry, I'll keep reading. Okay, so and hold your thought, Anita, and we'll come right back to you. So you create some kind of art every week, and you love to share your art with others, either in person, where you're like, guys, look. which is me,
Yeah.
or
Me
online. So a lot of joy makers love to show their art online. You also, here's the one. I know I'll get a show of hands on this one. You also know the names of your favorite craft stores and your favorite go-to art and craft supplies. How many do we have here? Oh my,
Yeah.
I think it's like almost everybody. How about Twyla? Do you know?
Yes, somewhat.
Okay.
I lost
Just
that my craft stores disappeared on me. So
oh, this can also count for online though. Like you,
yeah.
do you know what your online
Jerry's
stores are?
Artorama.
Ah,
I
see?
shop at Jerry's Artorama a lot.
I knew it. I knew it.
Yep.
I knew you guys each had a little bit of the joy maker in you.
Yep.
Okay. So let's see. And does anybody just shout it out? What kind of store do you know right off the top of your head? Favorite one?
Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby.
I knew it. I should have like had an award for myself for guessing that's what it was going to be.
Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby or Amazon, because I don't have much of any other
Michael's.
place for that.
There's Michael's.
Michael's, yeah.
Michael's.
Usually go to Michael's.
Uh-huh. We also have some small craft stores. And I would
The
encourage you
dollar
guys.
store.
Yeah, dollar store. Good ones, good ones. I would encourage you guys to keep an eye out because there's more craft supplies around than you think. Okay, last line on the Joy Maker says,
Walmart.
you can tell me what you are studying in God's word right now and who has been in your prayers lately. If you're at that place in your walk with God, you are a joy maker. Because it's not like you ever really arrive. You're always growing. But at that point, you're not having to be reminded, you know where you're at and you know who you've been praying for. So that's just evidence that those elements are in your life every day, which is super, super awesome. You guys don't have to tell me if you're at that point, because that's kind of where you're at with God. But if you are, congratulations, you're a joy maker in that category. That's awesome. So Anita, you had something to say. Do you want to say that real quick? Or did you lose your train of thought? Sorry.
Choo-choo. Derail.
Oh, she was. Yeah. Tammy was talking about if sewing was a part, and I started to say sewing is an art in itself, and when you learn it, it's really a really good art to have, because I mean that art is slowly dwindling away, honestly. That and crochet too.
Yes, absolutely.
Or I seem to think so. Both of those are really a thing of the past, just about.
Yes, they really are. They really are. That's definitely an art form. Did somebody else say something?
I
Oh,
was gonna
Tammy's
say
holding up her
tatting
project.
is almost gone.
Tatting,
See
yes.
what?
Oh, tatting.
Yeah, I don't, and
It's
yeah,
amazing.
tatting.
And Tammy
I don't know
is
how to
showing
do
us.
it.
Tammy's showing us
A
a
bag,
project
apparently.
too.
I made this, y'all. It took me 2 days.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Oh wow! Look
Did
at
you put
that.
batting in it?
Yeah, it's a
Did-
not batting, but it's that piece of stuff that's in there.
Oh yes.
See?
Your
I mean, it
camera's just
looks
a little
like
bit dark, but we can see it mostly.
Yeah, it's
What I was trying to say is it looks like it got the batting like, quilted like.
There-
You know what
it
I
was
mean?
it was a $5 simple sewing package that
Wow.
Wow.
the director had, and I told her, I said, let's work on that together at the senior center. And she's okay. And I told her, I said, I'll pay you $5 because I like it. I want it. And she gave it to me.
Oh, sweet.
That's-
That's so sweet. You know, I know that there's so many ladies in here who are multifaceted with their crafting. It sounds like Twyla is one of them, and Tammy definitely, and a lot of you other ladies. I have loved making my own journals in the past, and there are some really fun ways to sew your own journal. So at some point, it would be so cool to do
Well,
that as a
I
project.
wanted to make me one like you did on that 3-day
Mm-hmm.
journal that you make. I don't even get any.
Uh-huh. Yes. Yeah. It's a little hard to find that supply in particular, but you can get it online. But yes, there's ways of sewing them, and
I
that's
never-
a really fun other way to incorporate other crafts that you like to do into your art journaling. So think outside the box when you're thinking about your art journaling. If you
Well,
crochet,
you remember I
you could
used a
make
quilt
bookmarks.
pattern.
Oh, look at this, Tammy.
Are you talking
Oh
about
my-
this?
Did you
I
make
mean,
that?
that's right there.
That's beautiful.
Oh my
You you buy those little patches at Walmart in a package,
Aw,
and you sew them together.
Oh yeah, the little squares, like quilting
beautiful,
Yes,
squares.
Tammy.
yes, the little
They
squares.
come in squares.
And see, I use this
Yeah.
as my church notes.
That
I'll
is
put my
so
Bible there.
beautiful. I
So-
love that.
How
Oh,
did-
Twyla has
There's-
something.
How
This
did
is
you
a-
do
a
it?
photo
I mean,
album, but
how
it
did you make it?
It
Sewing.
Oh,
can easily be an art journal. So
yes.
it's a 3-ring binder.
Can you guys see Twyla's? And Twyla, if you talk a little louder, it'll make sure it highlights you.
I can't see her.
I think I didn't set my microphone enough or something. I don't know how to fix it.
That's
I'm on a different computer.
pretty.
But this
Wow.
is just a 3-ring binder. So,
Oh
Wow.
yeah.
So beautiful.
scrapbook.
I
I
love
love
that.
that. So pretty. So
So-
pretty.
Yeah, this used to be all the rage back in what, the 80s.
Oh yeah.
That was
It was big.
cool.
It was really big then.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, definitely. Well, those
Another
are, see,
thing
those are
you
some,
can do with
go
the
ahead,
other
Mom.
thing you can do with those binders and make a recipe book.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. And you can use the jelly rolls. Y'all know what jelly rolls are?
Oh, the quilting.
Yeah, you can make
I
They're
don't know.
already coordinated for you.
It's a jelly
Uh-huh.
roll.
And those jelly rolls are
I'm sorry.
fabric that comes in a little spiral. It's really cute. So yeah, there's so much you can do with your crafts that you already have. And that's a good transition into the second half of today's workshop, which was supplies. So knowing what your type of art journaler was tells you what kind of supplies you need. And I kind of, I think I said it multiple times during the workshop, and I'll say it again here. Start with what you do have already, because people think, oh, I saw this beautiful thing online. I want to go grab all the supplies and throw it at my journal. And you may have a lot already on hand that you don't even realize. So I just want to kind of ask you ladies, based on what you were. So you said you might be a joy seeker, you might be a joy finder, you might be a joy maker. Did you think of a few supplies that might work? We'll start with like categories. Did you think of a few supplies that might work for writing pens? Did you go through and find anything that you thought was like, yeah, I can use that, or I already have that? How about Twyla?
Oh,
Well, I have this gel pen set.
Oh,
I use that.
very nice. Can you hold it up? What kind is it?
Fine Life. I have no idea. I think I got it at the dollar store, grocery outlet.
Wow. At grocery outlet?
Yeah, they have all sorts of stuff.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Fun. We call Hobby Lobby Hoblob a lot of times. I don't know if we're just lazy or what. We call grocery outlet Grok Out.
Oh, that's
But
probably
you know-
my current go-to place.
Yes, it's a great place to shop. I love their stuff.
Yeah,
They've
Mhm.
got good treats and fun food too.
yeah.
So I'm
Maybe
surprised
it's a
you found some
Southern
art
thing.
supplies. Let's see,
They have a lot.
Let's see if Lillian, did you think of any pens that you could, just based on, let's see, Joy Seeker is what you were thinking you were closest to? Did you already have some pens that you thought might
Oh.
work, or anything else?
Yeah, all three, probably the last two I'm closest to, but I use the G2.
Oh, I love those.
And then I also have a rayon gel pen. It's sparkly. I use
Very
those.
pretty. Is your G2 pen colored pink, or is it just the outside is pink?
This is just the outside is red, the inside is black, but they do make colored ones, so that we have too.
Yes, I was gonna say if you got a colored one, it'd be like now you're set. You have everything you need. But the black ones are my favorite. In fact, I have. Well, apparently they're all in use right now. I have one right next to me. I have a ton of those. I just use them so much. I love them. They flow really well. I love those. Awesome. And then let's see, how about Anita? Did you look at the pen lists and think of some pens? I know you already art journal. So what's your go-to pen?
Yeah, I'll show you the ones I like to write with in color.
Okay.
You know what they are. I just can't think what they're called.
Oh,
I do.
is it by chance Tombow?
No, I like
She's
that one. I like them.
Oh, yes. Yes, those are called, oh, they have little hearts on them. What are they called? Pentel?
Pentel.
Ink, something, gel ink, I think. Something like that. I love those pens. Those are
Paper Mate Ink Joy.
Papermate. Ink Joy.
Ink
Wow,
Joy.
I was way
Paper
off.
Mate Ink Joy.
I have
And
a
they
bunch
come
of those,
with-
but I haven't used them
I
in
have
so
the
long.
little ones. I have the little ones.
I
purse.
used them a lot more when I in my first couple of journals, but I haven't used them so much in this last one. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but I haven't.
Those are good ones. Those are good ones. Yeah, I'm glad you
But
brought
those are my newest ones that I like to write with. Now,
Nice.
if it's just like I use my were they the
Tombow, dual tip,
Tom?
Brecton?
Yeah, that's kind of. There's one that's got a softer tip, and then there's one that's got
Oh, the
like a
Fud
harder
pen.
tip.
The Fud pen.
Bud
FUD.
pens, yeah,
Fudenosuke.
yeah. I like those. Now,
Like I can
can you
pretend
get those in color? I know you can get them in black, but can you get them in color? Now, I wish I could get my hands on those in color.
I actually feel like I've seen the same series, but maybe not the exact same brush. So maybe somebody can do some research and find out if we can get Fud pens in color. Woo, that would be fun. Let's see, Jerry, did you find out some pens that might be helpful or ones that you already had if you dug through your supplies?
I found some that I already had and that I really kind of like. They're thick intensity and they come in colors, and these are like a super fine point.
Yes.
And they're ultra fine. I'm sorry. And there's like 5 different colors in a pack.
Nice.
Yeah. They have
And
What's
those
the
are
brand of it?
they're big,
Hold
right?
it up again.
Are those considered permanent?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, those are really nice. I've used those for other projects, and those are really nice. Have you used them before?
Do those bleed through? Do those bleed through the page?
They don't seem to, but then I haven't really put water where I write.
Oh, I wouldn't use water with them, probably. I just meant if I wrote on a page, would it bleed through like a permanent marker?
I would say, at least in my experience, it depends on the paper. And then Jerry, you can tell us if you've used yours before, but I know that I've used them before on something more like this journal, which is just like a sketchbook, and it has much thinner, kind of soft, porous paper, and it does show through that kind of pen. But on something like watercolor paper that's sturdy, it might not be so bad. Lillian, did you have something?
I just want to say that I looked and they do make colored Fudenosuke pins.
Ooh, wow, that's
It was
great. Okay, what kind of colors did you find?
Oh, they had a variety pack, so just all the normal ones, I guess.
Wow. Okay, so probably like red and blue and green and those kinds of things.
Yeah, all the basics, it looked like.
Somebody needs to put that on hashtag.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah. The ladies that are in the group, yeah, if somebody wants to look up on Amazon and put hashtag supplies, that would be great.
Yeah.
Inside the group,
Did you find it on?
Inside the group, we have a great system that we just implemented, which is like when you have a supply, you put hashtag supplies and it tags everything that's posted that way. So if anyone's like, I don't know what to go get, it's almost like day 3 of this workshop, but all the time. Like,
Right.
okay, I need ideas for pens and stuff. So that's really fun. Jerry, great idea with the Bic pens. That sounds really great. And then let's see, did anybody else not get to say? Mom, did you look at the list of pens, or do you have a favorite pen you like to use?
Well, I like the cheapy Bic pen, the rollerball, just the cheaper one. You know, you can get a pack of whatever for nothing. And Micron, of course.
Oh, right.
Oh, I
yes, I
love-
mentioned Micron. Oh, Twilight.
Micron,
I'm not
yes.
much on gel. I'm not much on the gel pens. That Joy one that I just showed is about as far as gel pens I like to go.
Uh-huh. I like that Twilight already has Micron pens. That's awesome. I couldn't tell. Are those colored?
I have a bunch of colors of Micron pens. And then I have a Cali pen, or a calligraphy pen. It says Cali pen.
Yeah.
Oh, nice,
And that's
nice.
got like a square tip. And then
I think, is that from Hobby Lobby? Because I feel like I've used that brand.
they're from Creative Memories. Back when I
Oh,
was
that's
scrapbooking.
why.
Yep.
That's why.
There's one with a little brush on, a little tip.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Very
that's
nice.
cool. And these are so old and they're still good. I was sitting here testing them. I'm like, well, certainly they're dried out by now. They're not.
So you know how to
Yeah.
store them, right?
Do I
On
know
their
how to
side.
do what?
On their side.
Oh, store them on their side. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
pens,
probably why they're
markers.
still good.
Lay
Yeah,
on
I
their
didn't
know
side.
that.
Yeah.
Creative Memories used to sell their pens in a pack, and I think they still do, that is meant to stack this way so that they don't
Yeah.
store this way.
Yeah.
I use my pens so frequently that I store them upside up, and that's not the best way to do it, but I use them so often that I want them easy to grab. But yeah, it's the best way to store them. If you can put them in a drawer. I have a little organizer on my desk with drawers like this, and I can pull those out like that, but not all the
That
time.
would be I
And
need to
Tammy,
do that then. Maybe
I'll
that's
tell you
why.
something. You know those little school boxes, those little plastic container.
yes. Mhm.
You can take all
Oh yeah,
your
that's perfect
pens
for them.
and store them in that.
Yes.
Since I've been in the club, whatever you want to call it, the group, I
Mhm.
have got more organized. I put my pens a certain way and put my paintbrushes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love your organizing system. Yeah, you definitely have a great way to store your pens for sure. And your binder. You have a good binder too, right? A good binder
Mhm.
system.
Yeah.
Yes, I
I've
love
all
that.
my paintings in my binder.
Yes,
group
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Oh man. And it's so fun to go back and look over all that stuff. It really makes it like, wow, look how far I've come. This is so great.
Yes, I've done that. Mm-hmm.
Good.
But
So,
I like the micro pens too. And my
yes.
husband bought me a package pens that has it's upstairs. It has a real fine tip. And the
Mhm.
other one, it's like a brush pen. And the other one, you can do your fancy writing. You know what I'm talking
Uh-huh.
about?
So it
But I
has
can't remember the
dual-
name of it.
a dual tip. Dual tip.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
you
it might be Tombow, but there's also some off brands. But Tombow's the most well-known one that has the two different tips. At least the most like higher end one, I guess maybe is the way to say that. So you'll have to show it. Maybe take a picture.
Yeah, I
We can
will.
see it.
I'll have to do that.
Well, we don't have time to go through all the supplies. You guys have your worksheet from today, and you also, I'm sure, have way more ideas than that. But I do just want to come back around to officially inviting any of you ladies who are not in the Artworthy Journal Club to go ahead and join us, because we have had a blast over the last couple of months. I've had a blast with the ladies that are in the Artworthy Journal Club, learning
yeah.
how to use art to get into God's word every day, to, improve our daily habits, and using just a journal. I mean, you would think something as simple as a journal couldn't make that big of a difference in your life, but it's amazing how simple things that you can implement each day, even just small things like I'm going to write my prayer out once a day, or I'm going to write out my to-do list once a day, can encourage you to create other healthy habits in your life. And most of all, it'll breathe life into your day. So my page is called Artworthy Life. And I picked that name because I wanted it to have that sense of breathing life into every day. And so I just want to give you guys an official invitation. We are opening the doors today. I know some of you got your email, and I think some of you plugged in already. So I saw you guys pop through. But if you haven't already decided to join the group, I really would encourage you to, just because this is like a little tiny snapshot of everything that happens inside the Artworthy Journal Club. And so I wanted to give you that invitation, and then also just kind of give you a kind of a quick summary of some of the things we do in the Artworthy Journal Club, and maybe answer some questions. Are you guys okay to like hear a little bit about it? And then if you have any questions, you can ask.
I'd be glad to share. I love the
Me too.
Fun. Yes, Tammy, that would be so great. So let me give you guys a little snapshot of it, and then I'll kind of open you guys up for questions, and we can share a little bit too. That would be fun. So the first off, basically the Artworthy Journal Club is housed on Facebook, but a lot of the stuff we do, I should say all of the live events we do now are on Zoom. So even if you're not on Facebook, you can attend all the live events on your Zoom account. You can just come on Zoom. And what we've done so far is at this point, we have one event every Monday, and all events are optional technically, but very, very encouraged because they're all really uplifting. So we have 4 events at least every month, unless there's a 5th week, and then we have a bonus event. And so the first event is actually a prayer and fellowship. And what that is basically some time to share and see if there's anything we can pray for each other, and do a little bit of prayer. And then we basically do show and tell, and tell us everything that you have done this month that you really want to share with everybody. So we've had some ladies share their organizing tips. Actually, that's been really fun. We've implemented show and tell more in the last month. And so basically that's kind of like a creative time for us all to get together and kind of share everything. It's really fun to see projects ladies have been working on outside of journaling. So a lot of times people will be like, okay, so I didn't get 2 or 3 journal pages done this week because ta-da, I did this. And
my
I don't
baby
know.
blanket.
Oh yes, the baby blanket, and some paintings. We had one of our ladies do some paintings. Really, really fun. Crafts. Tammy has shown some crafts on there. That's been really fun. What that does is it gives us that's where we get our community. And that's my favorite meeting of the whole month. Even though the other ones are really fun, that's my favorite meeting. And then we have 2 journal, basically journal demo parties. I would call it an art journaling party. And that's where we actually get to get our journals out on Zoom. We finally figured out we need to be doing this on Zoom all together. So we're art journaling together on Zoom, and we do an entire journal page from start to finish. So on my page on Artworthy Life, for those of you that aren't in the group, you've probably seen me do an art journal page from start to finish. But it's really just me talking to a screen, and all I see are your comments. I'm like, ding. Okay. So the best thing is for me to get on there and actually get it to where I can see you guys holding up your journals, and we can talk about, oh, try this, try something different. And the really fun thing is when I'm like, okay, we're going to do this journal page, and I start to tell you guys how to do it. And then I hear people like Pam and some other ladies in the group who are like, I'm hiding behind my screen because I'm doing something different. Just hang on for just a second. And she's changing hers just a little bit. And then she'll hold it up and be like, look what I did. And the cool thing about that is it's total collaboration. Some of the ladies have so many good ideas. And when you get to be on Zoom with all the other ladies giving you ideas, it's like, wow, I wouldn't even have gone that direction. And yet we can do that. And then the last event of the month is our paint party. And our paint party is focused on growing our watercolor skills specifically without having to focus on journaling necessarily. So it's a full-size painting. And it can be on an 8.5 by 11 or a 9 by 12, but one of the big pages. And the fun thing about that is, you know, we love our art journals because that's what we're here for. But it's always good to actually feel like you're growing a skill. And the watercolor is such a unique medium, and a lot of people haven't worked with it a ton. And so that gives you a chance to kind of spread out, paint big, and try something maybe a little bit more involved or more difficult than the little doodles that we do, or the little smaller pieces of art that we do every day. So that's really fun. We also have, I'll just name a couple things and then I'll let some ladies weigh in a little bit or ask questions. But we also do a Wednesday challenge every week. And that is optional as well. Basically, everything is optional, but very encouraged. But the Wednesday challenge is a fun prompt in the middle of the week. So you don't feel like you end up with a dead spot where you're like, I have no ideas. And I give you actually not one, but 2 ideas that you can choose from. And what's fun is if you pick one of those ideas and you finish a journal page that's inspired by it, it doesn't have to be identical, just inspired, and you put hashtag Wednesday challenge and post it, you get entered into a drawing at the end of the month. And depending on how many of those you finish, you get more chances to win. Your name gets entered more times. So that's really fun. We've done that this month, and we've had a lot of ladies putting in their Wednesday challenge, putting in 2 Wednesday challenges if they do both of the ideas on the page. And I give you more than just Wednesday to do it, but that's the day that you get your challenge. And you can finish it toward the end of the week if you need to. There's also encouraging posts that come through every couple of days so that you can kind of get some inspiration. And then just within the group, ladies are constantly posting, and that is actually more valuable than anything else, to see everybody else's ideas when I'm not even on the group and I come up and there's like 8 or 10 ideas. I'm like, wow, I never even thought to do that. And that's more valuable than anything else, especially for those of you from yesterday when we talked about how to come up with new art journaling ideas. Those of you that were like, whoa, I don't know how to do that. When you have all these ladies who are like, I came up with this idea, go ahead and use it if you want it. You're like always being inspired by these other ideas. So let me go ahead and let you guys, does anybody who's not in the group have any questions about the group that I didn't quite cover yet, or that you want more details on or whatever? Anybody have a specific question? Yeah, Lillian.
How do you join
How do you join?
online?
Are you already joined? Because it looked like you might have been already joined, but it's through the email.
Okay, I wondered because we did the whole money thing, but I didn't see anything come through, so I wasn't sure.
Okay. Yes, so that's actually a really
Okay.
good question, because I wanted to address that. You will get an email from me very soon, but I'm going back through to make sure I have information and stuff. So at the end of today, and you can just watch for it. It'll come to you before the end of the week. So if not tomorrow, Friday, but you will see that you are entered. Friday is the first day of the month, which is when anyone who's a new member will be entered into the group. So that's when you'll have your doors open and you'll have access to everything. But what you will want to know is there is, oh, and I forgot to mention this. There is Happy Mail that comes in the mail every month that encourages you to be thinking about the theme that we have for the month, and the verses that we're looking at, and also a prayer prompt. So there's just a couple of printed materials that come in there, just something to get in the mail. I like Happy Mail, so I like things coming to me in the mail. And for your first month, because it's like, bam, immediately here, you don't get the mail right out, because there's no way for me to get the mail out to you right fast. So you'll get all the digital resources for the first month, and then your first Happy Mail will come for next month. So just so you know, that's where you'll come in. But you'll get access to all the paint parties, all of the Monday events and everything, and all the digital resources. So you'll have them and you can print them out if you want them. They just won't come to you in the mail. The mail is kind of a bonus. It's not really even part of the package. It's just a bonus because I like to give gifts to people. So that's why you won't get it the first month, but you'll start to get them the next month through, because then I'll know you're here and I'll have time to send it to you. Does that answer your question, Lillian? Hopefully.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Awesome. So you, I think, are in, and you'll get your email very soon. Yay! I'm so excited. Welcome. That's awesome. Let's see. Was anybody else on here that did join that I didn't notice? Twyla did join. Yay!
I did.
Twyla, I'm so excited for you. Did you have any questions specifically?
No, actually, you kind of went down the schedule and answered them, so I'm good.
Oh, good. You did mention schedule, so I will say there's a calendar that goes out every month, And that's really nice because you can just kind of take a look and you'll see the things that are happening.
Okay.
And if you ever have any questions about the calendar, just send me a message, or you can even put like #ask in the group, and somebody else oftentimes will answer before I even get to it. So that's really nice.
Yeah, I have a
you guys-
habit of doing that if I know the answer.
Yep, and that's super helpful. And a lot of the ladies do know the right answer, so that really helps. And one thing I will say is if ever the schedule doesn't quite work for somebody, we discuss our schedule pretty regularly to make sure that it's working with people's timelines and things, and we are flexible. So if there's ever like, hey, I'd like for there to be a morning event, or I'd like for there to be an evening event, we always talk about that, and it is flexible. So never like super set in stone. And that's why I put the calendar out every month, so you can see what's coming. And if you have any like questions or ideas for events we can do, that's why that comes out to you. So
Okay.
does that help, Twyla?
Yep.
Yay. Okay, good. Anybody else? Does anybody else have a question that they want us to cover? Jerry, did you have anything specific that you were wondering about?
No, not really. I mean, I think we covered a lot of it.
Good. Okay, well, that's good news. Let's see, maybe let's go ahead and I want to ask Tammy, do you want to share just some things that really make the Artworthy Journal Club something you love to be a part of? Like, what is it that keeps you around?
It's the encouragement. And when I had a bad day one day, it is the encouragement, the love of the people, and the closeness that I have felt with the group. It's just very touchy, and I look forward to it. I always look forward to that Monday.
I do too. I always look forward to you coming on the group. You're always so encouraging. Yes. Is there anything that you had in mind that you wanted to share about the group?
There's no, when you feel like you didn't do too good on a painting, there's no condemnation or whatever I'm trying to say. You do the best you can, and
No
people
ridicule.
don't judge, the judgmental on, and people encourage you because you may think you've done awful on that picture, and then you hear, that is wonderful, the words, the encouragement, and the more I see that, it's more of a built up, you don't feel down.
I have
You're
to
very
say, I totally
positive.
agree. Absolutely. We have a very, I would say, and you can tell me if you agree, Anita and Tammy, we have a very encouraging culture in our group. Would you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we have a very encouraging and loving culture in the group. And I mean, I encourage that, but you guys are just awesome people.
And
So
I met someone that was just 3 hours away from me, and I thought that was cool.
so cool. So cool. I love that.
Right.
I love that.
I was so jealous when you got to go see her in person.
Yeah,
I was like,
and
this
Anita,
just ain't even fair.
And she was my
Yes.
prayer partner deal.
so cool.
Right.
So cool.
Right. She was.
Yeah,
And
she was
we
my
have
prayer
some
partner.
ladies. Yeah, and you guys drove that distance, met each other, and took a picture. I was just like, I'm gonna cry.
Well, think about it. If I was that close to some of you, I would too. But
Yeah.
And we have some
I'm
ladies in
nowhere.
Oregon who've met up, who have been planning to meet up for a while. We think that's probably going to happen soon.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, and
Yeah.
Twyla, it sounds like
And you guys
might
will
be
have to
up
take a
for that.
picture and you'll have to post it. We all
That's
need
right.
to know all these details.
Yes.
Oh, Tammy, I know what we need to do. They need to go live, go live and then post it on our page so we'll all get into some
There
fun. We
you
may
go.
just have to,
That's
they may
an
have to
idea.
scroll to see us, but
Yeah.
no, just joking.
That's a
Just
great
joking.
idea.
Yeah, they
That would
can
be so
zoom
fun.
us in.
Yes.
And
Wouldn't it
that
be
guy
fun to have?
go, this isn't fair.
Uh-huh. Would be fun to have a couple of the ladies here in Oregon get together, a couple of the ladies out in the East get together, and whoever could join up, we could all get on one Zoom and we'll be like, we got a few of us here and a few of us there. That would be so fun.
Yeah.
Now, Jerry and
Um,
I live 4 hours from Jerry, so he's probably the
Ah.
closest one to me.
There you go. It would be an excuse to meet up,
In
Jerry.
fact, I'm going to see her in November.
Ooh, fun.
Ain't that right?
Fun.
49 days.
She's
49
counting
days.
down. She's counting down.
She's got the days counted. I haven't got that far yet, but I was talking to Aunt
49
Grace about
days.
that today. She goes, so you are really going to go? And I said, yeah, I'm going to go.
Yes,
And where you
that's
going?
awesome. To see
Where's
I'm going
she
to
going?
Jerry's house.
Oh, cool.
That would be so
Jerry.
cool. Anita,
Jerry's been a part of my life all my life.
that's so awesome. Anita, I just want to give you a chance and ask you, what is it about the Artworthy Journal Club that you think is the number one thing that makes you stay?
The people in it. And
Amen.
and I mean, like Tammy said, when we got a page that we just don't like at all, then they're like, well, they really like it. I'm like, what do they like about it, you know? But it's not just that. It's like, I mean, it's just like it was a God thing, because we all seem to have been in the same spot at the same time, needing something encouraging. And we
Mhm.
all did that. And we all just kind of, it was like it's strange to say, a bond there. And there the encouragement, but yet there's ideas. People like some of our art, we do the pages, we do like our paint parties, we do the same thing, exactly the same pattern, but they just don't turn out the same. I mean,
Yeah.
not a one of them. They're so
Mhm.
different, but every one of them's got their own character, you know?
Mhm.
And then, you know, sometimes we ask, well, what, like, there's been some of us that done it and then posted thinking, does this page really need something else or not?
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Or what
love that.
to do this? And everybody puts their ideas into it, and you can use it if you want. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to. But there's
Mhm.
just that, you know.
We can borrow each other's ideals.
Yes.
Exactly. We
Mhm.
borrow each other. So I got to do that in mine, and then you do that, and it's not the same at all, because
Mhm.
there was that one that Valerie, the last one that Valerie posted. I said, I'm
Mhm.
going to do that, and then when I did mine, and I posted it, and she's seen it, and she responded. She goes, "Isn't it funny how we use the same concept, and I'm to look so much different
Mhm. It's amazing.
like hers?"
Amazing.
And what another thing is, I have found, it's not a constant thing, but especially sometimes me and Tammy do it the most, is we find ourselves using the same scripture,
Yes.
almost the same kind of picture, the same concept of the picture and the
Isn't that
scripture,
amazing?
if that
I
makes
think
any
that's
sense.
amazing.
Tammy
Well, and I
knows what I'm
think
talking about.
for
We
sure,
talked
for
about this.
sure. And I think
But-
mostly what you're getting to is basically that idea of you have some people to have as kind of a sounding board at all times. And you know, if you did this on
Exactly.
an island, kind of by yourself, you could still have some fun. I mean, you could create art, you could do some journaling. It could still be really uplifting. But I would say the number one thing that is the most encouraging for me, and I know it is for most of you ladies, as you've already said, is the community. The community is like that's the gold. That's the nugget that you're there for. We get together, we do our parties and stuff, but we spend so much time sharing and just encouraging each other that I really think it's super valuable. So those of you ladies
And
that
what's
have
also
just, those
one
of
more
you ladies
thing,
that
what's
have
really good. Go ahead.
That's okay. I said just those of you ladies that have already joined us, I am so excited to welcome you. And let's see, Twyla said she did. Jerry, did you already figure out how to join, or are you planning to?
I'm thinking about it, and I think I figured out how to.
Okay. Yeah, and let me know if you have any questions too. I'd be glad to help.
Okay.
Did you have anything that I could answer here, or do you want to just chat later?
Maybe I'm figure it all out,
Yeah.
fit into my schedule.
Yeah, and if you have any like lingering questions that might help, feel free to send me a message, or we can chat or talk at some point. But yeah, I'm really excited I know Lillian was on here. I think she ended up having to jump off, and Twyla's still here. But ladies, thank you so much for joining. I think it's really exciting that you're here. I'm going to leave the doors open for today and tomorrow and Friday. So that if you have anyone else that you think might enjoy it, you want to invite them. And also if there's any of the people who weren't able to do the workshop, they can go ahead and join as well. But I'm so glad that you guys actually were part of the workshop before joining the Artworthy Journal Club, because even the members that are here today didn't have that workshop to start with. So you have like this head start of kind of a little foundation under your feet, and you've kind of gotten your feet wet already with an idea of what are we doing here before we get into the group. So welcome those of you that are part of it, and congratulations, Jerry, whether or not you end up joining, for finishing the Get Started Art Journaling workshop. I hope, and you guys can tell me if this is true, but I hope that you feel like whether or not you're part of the Artworthy Journal Club, you have some tools that you can take right now and go and art journal and enjoy it, and hopefully be encouraged by it and incorporate something like that into your life that fits you and fits what you feel like is going to be encouraging to you on a daily basis. I think that's super exciting. So if you ladies don't mind, I would really appreciate for you to just go down into the group after we get off our Facebook chat or a Zoom chat, and go down into the Facebook group if you're on there, and post a picture of either a craft supply that you really like or a journal page. It could be either one. And then above that, if you don't mind, just write what's one takeaway that you had from the workshop. And that will be really encouraging for me to see what you felt like was the best takeaway. And by that, I mean like something that you learned, something you found helpful. And it could be like something that you're like, oh, I hadn't thought about that. That's what I learned from this workshop. And just post a picture, and then I'll be going through the group and looking, and I'll take that information and put it back into the workshop in case we ever do something like this again. And I'll know what was helpful and what wasn't. And that would be a huge help for me. But I think
Have you got yesterday's posted yet?
Yes, it should be posted in the group. Did anyone see that link that I posted, the replay for yesterday's Zoom?
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
No,
Oh,
I've
good.
been very busy today.
That's okay, Anita.
Tammy's
Yeah,
trying to say something.
And
Yes,
a
Tammy.
question.
Mhm.
My friend I do cabin cleaning with, I told her
Mhm.
about the group. She asked me if you do a paint session.
A paint
Zoom.
session.
A painting class
Well,
that
we have
that we pay for when you do them.
Oh,
You mean like a paint
She's
paint
never
party
done
like that
water.
one that
Yes, like like the
So-
acrylics.
Oh,
Yes.
like acrylic. Okay.
Right.
But she's never
Occasionally-
done watercolor, and she's really interested in just having
Yeah.
a paint fruit.
That's a good question. So she's basically asking if I do online paint parties.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
yes.
Yes. So I do those periodically I'll do my own, and I do them upon request. So if she ever wants to have a paint party, she can send me a message and we can talk about what that looks like. But typically I just do it based on the number, and normally we do like 8 to 10 people if it's an online party, minimum. And then if she wants any more, of course it's fine to have more than that. And it just depends on what she's looking for. But if she's looking for having one every month, she's more than welcome to be in the Artworthy Journal Club, because I know that we have a lady who's joining who actually, just to give you kind of a framework, she had a paint party once a month that she was a part of, and she ended up not really wanting to do that style of painting anymore. Does anybody have any background noise? Do you want to mute yourselves? There's something that's giving me feedback, and I'm not sure if it's me or you guys, but yeah, it might be just background noise or something.
Well, it might be me.
Might be
if
you.
I unmute
okay.
myself.
Oh, that seemed to help. Thank you. That it might be just crickets or something. I don't know. So I'll just give you a framework. So she was a part of this other group, and she told me, I just ran into her. She told me that she decided she didn't want to go to it anymore, but she really still wanted to do something every month. And I asked her what, if she didn't mind telling me what that involved. And she said, oh, well, it was $20 a month and I had one paint party a month. And I said, oh, okay, did it include supplies? And she said, no, I would do my own supplies. And I said, oh, okay, so for you covered your own supplies, and it was $20 a month, and it was just one paint party for a small painting about like this. And she said yes. And I said, well, we actually have 4 events a month for under $20. Do you want to come into the Artworthy Journal Club? And she said, you do a paint party? And I said, no, we do a paint party. We do 2 journal parties, and we do a prayer and fellowship, and we do a bonus prayer and fellowship if we have time. And then we have challenges. And I started telling her what I told you guys. And so she was very excited. So she'll be joining the Artworthy Journal Club and joining us on Zoom. Maybe not on Facebook, but definitely on Zoom. And so
But
just to kind of give you guys,
she can't come on it every time. So that's why I was wondering.
What was that, Tammy?
You know, she can't be on those 4 times. And I was telling her, well, you just make it as easy as you can on your time, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So.
And so do you know if she's concerned that she won't be able to make it live? Is that her concern? Or is she okay to watch a replay?
I don't know about the replay. I never really asked her about replay.
Yeah. Well, you can tell her to feel free. I don't know if she's on Facebook. Send me a message. We could ask. We could answer some questions. You could also tell her to join.
She's on Facebook.
Okay, you could invite her to the group, and she could watch this replay if she wanted to and kind of hear about it. And another thing that she could do is just try it for a month and see what she thinks. And I would just tell her she's getting 4 events for less than the price of one on a comparable paint party. So, and I'll just tell you, most of my paint parties online are $15. And those, you guys cover the supplies because I can't deliver them to you. And so if you think about it, $15 for one paint party is the typical price. But if you join the Artworthy Journal Club, you automatically get a paint party, and you get 2 other events and a prayer and fellowship and a bunch of other stuff, as you guys know. So it might be worth it for her to just join the club, and then she'll have one automatically. Yeah. Otherwise, she can just kind of keep an eye out for events that come. I do them periodically. And if she sees one that she wants to join, she can just join it if she sees it.
Okay.
You can tell her to follow Artworthy Life as well, and then she'll get pinged anytime something happens.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope that answered your question.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, ladies, this has been super fun. Welcome to all of you guys who are new members. Congratulations to all of you who are current members, future members, potential members, or maybe not. But most of all, you guys are all part of the Get Started Art Journaling Workshop, and you all have finished day 1, day 2, and day 3. Congratulations. Give yourselves a round of applause. You did a great job. And I am really thrilled that you committed to 3 days, because some people aren't even willing to do that. And just the fact that you're willing to do that tells me you are ready to do something creative on a regular basis, even if it's not a daily art journal. So congratulations, go out there and get creative. I can't wait to see your posts on Facebook. What was most inspiring to you, or what you learned the most, what your biggest takeaway was. And so post a picture of a supply you like or of your journal page, and I will see you in the Facebook group, hopefully, and watch for your posts. So
Hey.
thank you, ladies. Uh-huh.
Right.
How would I post my picture for the others to see it?
Just like
Like
you
the ones
normally
that
do.
are on this? Okay.
Just like you normally do, it's in the art journaling DIY group. So just post it in there and everybody
Okay.
will see it. Does that make sense?
Oh, so that's a whole different page?
Yes, that's actually
I
a
am
free
so
page. That's why it has just a few resources, but not as many as in the group.
All right.
So that's
right.
where we did the Artworthy journal, the art journaling workshop.
Okay.
You got her confused.
That's okay. Just look for DIY. It's the art journaling DIY. And if you see DIY,
Okay.
that's the free group, and that's where you can post it. That's where
Alright.
everybody here will see it, and that's where you want to put your picture.
Okay.
Did anybody have any last minute questions that I can answer before I jump off?
So,
No, I'm fixing to jump off here. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
All
Good night,
right,
Anita.
have a blessed night. Thank you so much for joining. This has been really fun. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.